So that's why I will tell you that even for a simple case of crime, supposed to be handled by police, you have the army getting involved. It's now beginning to open a unit, a police unit at the sub-county, 14 police officers to be in charge of more than 10,000 people. That cannot be a state. It's not an effective state. The numbers had people complain about borders and all of that. So we are below a failed state. We are a rank below a failed state. But he's come up with another categorization of middle income, low middle income. That's for income. It's for
but not the state itself. Yes,
it's for earning. It's not a reflection of our full blood count. Now, when a state, whether failed state or that new category which we haven't gotten exists, the state must have a government.
All right.
So, where you have a failed government, failed state and therefore failed government, then you have a non-governmental organization.
Where you have a failed government,
yes,
then you have an NGO,
you have a
non-governmental organization.
So you could, but you see, you cannot have a non-governmental organization in a vacuum. Then who will register it?
A government should be able to register it.
So in other words, where the state can't reach, because it's weak, it is still existing, but it can't reach, it will partner with an NGO. Yes, so you will find an NGO in Padel doing a borehole, doing this.
Work that is meant to have been for the government.
If you go to Chikarara Parish, which is Bwambara sub-county, Rukunjiri district, the neighbors the park, it was a parish carved out of a national park and given to Banyamutumbi. The last time I was there, they didn't have any source of drinkable water. They were sharing water with buffaloes. Buffaloes would kill them. That's how bad it was. So the water was provided by an NGO, and so was a school. The school where I did my primary, lower primary, P1, I started, I think, I did P1 and P2. Then I joined P4.
You skipped 2 years. There was a COVID season there in your own time. Then you went to...
I lied. I was doing I was going to do P2 third term to join the P3. So we shifted because the school had no... we were going to the pioneers of P3. So we shifted to the village and I lied. I was in P4. So third term, P4, I did exams for P5. I was the 10th. And they had to promote me, and I was the first again in the P5. So that's how I survived.
if you're in a candidate class, would have said you're closely related to a certain general who is running for candidate. We move on.
So in other words, but that school, why we didn't have P3 and above, was because it was started by a P5 graduate.
Yeah.
He came and collected us from the street and started the school. Because there was no government. You get? But there was a state.
Okay.
But there was no government. So you could have an NGO. And I would equate the Catholic Church probably to an NGO. So yes, you have those vacuums. The problem with the failed state of NRA, it looks at NGOs as hostile group. Why? Because they facilitate consciousness.
When you say they facilitate consciousness,
yeah,
what
like
do you mean?
Environmental degradation.
Okay. They do the civic education. They talk about, yes.
Oh, yes. That's why, because you are indulged with the population, you are organizing the population, then you are seen by political weaklings as enemies. So you now need to look at aid from that point of view. Because it is aid.
Okay.
We are not looking at donations. We are not looking at grants. Neither are we looking at loans. We are looking at aid.
Yes.
And when you begin saying that there are ulterior motives behind aid, it's an insult to those who give aid. Because there are those who are well-meaning. Like, are they called Nordic?
Yeah, the Nordic countries, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They are people out of spirituality. that give, yes, very rich states, and they know you are hard hit by these calamities, HIV, weather, bad weather, and famine, and they come in with help because of spirituality. So it's not that, but now the question is, they aid you to do what? That's not them to answer.
That is who to answer now.
Yes. So now let me go to, and I'm addressing Mr. Museveni now. In our traditional setting, we have what we call engozi. Engozi is what we use to carry a patient to the hospital.
Almost like an emergency bed of sorts.
Yeah, because we had no vehicles, etc. And so society, families, homesteads would gather and carry. Meaning like a woman who's going to give birth, etc. Now, those who have remained, they bring food because you are again expected to cook for those who have
gone to hospital.
Who have gone to hospital.
Yes.
The many men who have helped to take your husband to hospital. So you've stayed, you have to cook for them. But of course, we can't rely on your garden. We're not sure you have enough to take care of. So women come with food.
Okay.
Yes. Now you are not going to dictate to them what they bring. Yes, yes. So you will come with peas, another one will come with beans, another one will come with firewood, another one will come with meat.
A sort of potluck.
As long as it is eatable.
Yes.
The same is true with burial. The other one, the same is true with marriage. And then there is also migration. If you are a new, you have migrated to the village, you've been accepted, then they contribute what we call Uganda to build, and then food, etc. So that you are able now to be on your own. So the purpose of aid, therefore, is to assist you to stand in difficult times as you build capacity to be on your own. You get? It's not supposed to reinforce your new invented lifestyle.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Very, very key. Yes.
So if they are giving you money for a blood bank, because as of now, Uganda government has no capacity to store our blood.
Which is really, really
No,
terrible.
it is USA. People collected the money during COVID. Remember? They collected the money, and if you check with the Aga, Sekarara, the son of the owner of Radio Simba, the decision that they took, because he was on that committee, was to put up various centers of blood bank. Various centers for blood banking. Let me call it blood banking. But I'm surprised. To date, we don't have.
There is nothing of that sort on
Yes.
ground.
So, is it that Uganda now can't afford?
Good question.
We are talking about aid.
Yes.
But even loans, even on loans themselves, some loans are contingent upon, are conditioned upon local contribution. That if they are going to give you a loan for a road, you should also cover certain aspects.
Certain of that. Yes,
like
one or two.
Compensation, etc. Those can't be part of the loan. And there are loans we've borrowed, but we cannot use now, including this bypass at Busega, this MPG Express. Why? Because we've not done what you call counterfunding.
Our part.
But the interest
On that
accumulating on a loan
grown.
that we have not used is about to exceed the counterpart funding. The man was supposed to contribute. And we pay it.
Wow.
We pay the interest. So you cannot say that is a failure. No, it's stupidity.
Okay.
But there is where you have traffic
Just-
lights.
Yes, we need you to wrap it up so that we
You have
can
traffic
go.
lights.
Yes.
I think this one of Naka of Wandegea is a grant from Japan. I'm not very sure, but
Some of
Japan
them,
has given us grants for traffic lights, and we still use police officers doing it manually. Why? Because we can't pay electricity. So you find them off.
We've actually had several of them going off.
We control water and sewage corporation. It has not made losses, but it can't supply Murago. Murago has no, there is when you find hospitals without water. So it's a management problem, but it's understandable because we are a level below the failed state. Let me end with this.
Okay.
There are donations which are done in the marketing. And I know of a company that donates machines to hospitals.
Right.
High-tech machines. But their objective is that you buy consumables from them.
You buy consumables.
Yes, from them. Because they are very sure you want to get serviceable parts from elsewhere, so they will recover their money through. And what the Uganda government does, it will receive the machine
and put it
there. As soon as there is a small breakage, they don't fix it, and because for them they think we've not lost anything anyway. So our problem is spiritual.
Wow, what a way to conclude. What a way. You've just thrown Catherine off her balance.
Oh my goodness.
She didn't see it coming.
No, I didn't see it coming.
I would like to move to Catherine before I move to Moses.
But correct this line.
Which one? Yeah. We'll correct that. We'll correct that. So, Catherine, you had a question from Kenneth, all right?
Yeah.
We understand foreign aid, whether financial, technical assistance is important, but should we become comfortable with that, or we need to do something as a country? And when we say we need to do something as a country, what is that we need to do?
Okay. Thank you, Kenneth, for that question. First of all, I agree with Charles that I think our issue is not just spiritual. It's a disciplinary issue. It's a strategic leadership issue, because if you're sick and they give you Panadol, aid is a painkiller. It's a temporary relief. It is not meant to root out the malaria if our disease is malaria. Painkiller will manage the headache as you actually deal with the actual root cause.
But we live with the painkiller for years and the body gets used to the painkiller.
That's part of what we are suffering from, that we've created many other problems as a result of being in that state for a long time. We've numbed the pain and we have forgotten to actually clean the wound and do the work that we need to do.
Wow.
It's like we are used to, the metaphor that came in my head was, if aid is a tap, now they have closed the tap, and we have said, after we've been shouting about this, we want independence, we don't want the strings attached, and all these things, we don't like all these conditions. Like when you have young adults in the house who are still 100% dependent, but they want to behave like
they are adults, independent.
Yeah, so they want the privileges of adulthood, but they really don't have. They're not paying the price. They're not taking responsibility. Sometimes we behave exactly like that. So Ken, I am 100%, I don't agree that this should be a permanent situation. It is meant to provide us relief. What part of our spiritual problem is that we don't have long-term thinking. Or if we have prioritized other things. And I don't want to get political, but the whole issue of the political project, of political survival, just that all hands are on the deck to protect and galvanize political power at the expense of everything else. That anything else you hear seems an attack.
Yes.
And by the way, we do appreciate that NRM has made contributions, some good contributions. But I think we've also missed important opportunities, and we have therefore lost sight of the important things that we should be doing.
Yes.
Because if you think about aid, what does aid fund the most? If you think about the funded education, health sector,
priorities, yes.
The funded priorities, those are the priorities in the interests of the money. Because money tends to come with interests. If they want to, for example, have, you know that when you have money, you have voice. You can say something and they will listen to you. So some money is here to keep the voice on the table. But the question is, do we have an agenda for that money? And even when we've been given, I mean, government has been funded ARVs for a long time. They've been provided.
And we've sung a song about building labs that make ARVs for the longest period in time.
During COVID time, we had an opportunity to make our own stuff. The moment we opened our mouth, we were going to do it, we were suddenly, the vaccines that were not available, suddenly they were made available. So we have clues, like we've received so many clues of we can do this. But because we are so used to the comfort of, I don't want to call it even easy money, because it's hard money. The debt, the burden, if you hear that the budget, you know, you collect so much, but all of it is going to pay back debt, and not even the debt, but interest. It's insane. Interest, it's like Ania Tuloga, who is bewitching us. So if it's a witch, really, we need to deal with this, if it's a spiritual issue. But really, it's a political issue, political will. Uganda, we keep claiming, I don't even know when we became proud of it, of we have policies that are implemented by everybody else except us.
And we keep getting newer policies, brilliant policies.
Brilliant policies. Never. But what are some of the we have lots of escape routes, by the way. If you think about the resources we have in the country, we are mining gold. I don't know where that money goes. We have minerals. We have we have oil. Let me not go there. So many resources. What the size of parliament, administrative structures where we are spending lots of money. So we have opportunities to actually cut back and be disciplined. If you bring it to a personal level, if Paul, you knew that this is, imagine you are Uganda and they tell you we are done with you and you have your last check, this is it. Would you go and maintain your lifestyle, or would you say, let me put my house in order? What do I do? I need to switch children's schools? Do I need to get out of this expensive house and rent a cheaper one if I'm renting? You will make adjustments. But what is wrong with us not wanting to make those adjustments is that we are not ready to pay the price. We are so used to turning the tap, even when it has closed, even when we have a jerrycan. We are too lazy. There's a jerrycan to wash, go fetch water. It means it's no longer just flowing. Now you have to take more money. We have to be willing to pay the price.
Aren't we just getting other alternatives? For example, if one country pulls out, we turn our requests to another country that is probably willing.
But we're doing the same thing. So because if you turn away from the US and all the other European countries that have turned away, then and you go to China or China, some of these terms are even worse. And so we really need to be in this for ourselves and say, Africa, it's time to take responsibility. Last week, the Uganda National NGO Forum, in partnership with the South Africa Civ Legacy Foundation, we ran for the whole week what we called a philanthropy week, where we are advancing and making a case for and showcasing people that have done local development using local resources.
Some have succeeded.
People have succeeded. Organizations have succeeded even without education. You remember the first lie I talked about? That when you focus on one resource, money, you miss out on many. Nyaka, if you look at Watoto Church, the kind of infrastructure they've put in place. Think about the volunteers. We were talking about the national volunteer policy. Our nation, we are the second youngest nation in the world. We have young people who volunteer every day, both in our homes and in workspaces. And that is a resource. If we quantified, we would realize that they are making a contribution. But when it comes to recognizing contributions, that is not monetized. And even when we have a chance to maybe, not to reward that skill, the value they bring, we are downplaying that. And that's why we keep stuck in a situation of thinking we need more money. Maybe that's why 20-year-olds think, we give you the alternatives. Let's give you the alternatives. Young people are tech savvy. They can move mountains with things. Are we even ready to tap into that? Or are we even too intimidated as grown-ups and think, when you give it to these ones, they will not manage. So there are lots of opportunities. We just have to open our eyes and be ready. So at the symposium, for example, we had great stories of people that have done work. And we are saying we need to do local-led development.
Yes.
We can do it at a low cost. So let's downsize. Where are you? That like that example you gave? Where are you who has 300? Because you're long-term thinking. You're saying, let me find a modest meal. The one who is living on you called it transfer earnings. They are living like they have arrived. So our priorities are upside down. So we have opportunities, and I really pray that we don't despair. We have cried long enough on the graveside. It's time to move on. Let's lift our eyes and say, what do we need to do? There are lots of resources, and yes, we appreciate aid has done its contribution, and it will continue. For the one that will stay, it will continue doing its part. But we have much more resources to look out for, to scout for, but we have to do the hard work. China has done its hard work. All these countries we admire.
Actually, because that was the next question I was thinking about and posing. Maybe Moses will add his voice to what you're saying. Posing it to Moses, okay? Are there examples of countries that have, come out of aid and have thrived? Now, we have the European countries, but thinking of just even our continent, Africa, are there countries that have said we've had enough of this, and, we can be able to say, if these people did it, we can also did it.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Before I go straight to that question,
Yes.
I want to make a short rejoinder
Okay.
to what first Charles said.
Please go ahead.
And then also, and it's very much linked to what Catherine has just been raising.
Yes.
And it's about the heavy effort of local initiatives.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, do I have to?
you can start.
Okay.
Rewind.
Okay, I can rewind very quickly.
Yes.
I said before I respond to your question, I just wanted to make a quick rejoinder to what Charles and Catherine said just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Because I feel they are very critical points and in a way respond to the question that you raised. Charles here gave us a very good narration around non-government organizations, how they come to exist, and what they do. And Catherine has mentioned here also what we, as Uganda NGO Forum, with Civil Source Africa, Civil Legacy, were about last week, celebrating the spirit of giving.
Yes.
And local philanthropy.
And I think we're the second nation that has, was it second in Africa or that gives?
I think we're the highest in Africa.
In Africa.
Yes.
You are from research. So
yes.
we are givers naturally.
Ugandans,
yes.
by the way, are among the most generous people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Each one of us here in the studio today, if you just reflected on how much giving you have done this year alone to different causes.
Yeah.
If you spent a minute just adding up. And I want you to remember the definition that Catherine here gave of what, because giving is often mistaken to only be that involves monetary exchange.
Yes.
But there are several other ways through which we give. And I wanted to start by applauding the several citizen-led, self-help initiatives.
Yes.
You could call it NGOs.
Yeah. Out
there in our communities for the great work that they have done for such a long time. Think of it. There's an organization, there's a group in every little town of this country making a contribution, perhaps not well documented,
yes,
therefore not known, but in all aspects, health, education. If you were to ask around, if you were to run a survey, quite a number of people acquired education through initiatives that supported them.
Yes.
And not foreign, we're not talking about anything foreign here. We're talking about locally led initiatives within the country.
Yeah.
A group, I remember in my own, where I come from, my mother with her peers, they have a sort of an association of formation, and they're working towards certain things.
Yes.
To sort of day-to-day challenges. Unfortunately, the metrics, and again because of capitalization and the like, such efforts are
never recognized.
Yes. They're sidelined. And yet they make impact. The fact that you come out the way you are as a gentleman, as Kenneth, there's an effort that has been put in there to make you who you are. Before the education that you acquire elsewhere.
Yes.
There's an effort that is being made to fine-tune you, to speak into your discipline, the way you behave, and the like. And that is not, it's hard to quantify that. How would you quantify, for instance, the discipline instilled into you by your parents and your community? Which M&E terminology shall you use
to break that down?
To break that down. But isn't it a contribution?
It is.
Doesn't it matter in your social and economic well-being?
Yes.
It matters a lot. So there's that, and I wanted to start from that note of applauding there's so many such initiatives across the country. And it was largely one of the things that we were doing last week. And we got very many wonderful stories of people, of initiatives that have come up and are creating a change.
Oh, yes.
Nyaka, we had the Uganda Kingdom telling their story. The Kabaka birthday run, the Tofari, Uruwaro, and they like, all these are efforts.
They refused money from the government.
That raising teenagers. We have an organization raising teenagers that is helping out and using very practical ways of reaching out and helping many young girls.
Right.
Such are not often celebrated because they are not the big names.
Yes. And you don't hear the big monies.
You never because it's a small, where the big drums are, perhaps the
small ones,
struggle to get the sound to come out.
Yes.
But with all that, it's a pointer to the reality that we are able to do something. Even before we look outside to look for examples. In a house, we have many examples to speak about.
Like you've mentioned.
And like I've just mentioned, all that we need to do, I think we're at a point where we need to take a reality check.
Actually, in line with that, please tie one bold thing Uganda needs, one bold action Uganda must take within the next few months, so that we can survive without, foreign aid.
So,
we're towards the tail end of our show.
Yes. So I'll respond to that briefly with just two responses.
Yes.
The first one is that we need to do a reality check using the very analogy that Catherine provided of if you had a certain funding stream coming to you as an individual and it was abruptly cut short, you'd have to rethink how you spend.
Okay.
There are so many excesses and redundancies that we have in this country that if not checked will land us into trouble, especially with the realities that we have. And it's good this time comes when we are in a political season. God knows if we will have, but I think each time, even if it's the same government, once it gets a new mandate, it's a new government.
With the same old...
it will get a new mandate because you swear.
We celebrate every 26th of January.
We run the same script.
Every 26th of January.
Yes, true.
We have never celebrated when elections were won.
No,
when Museveni was sworn, we always celebrate
the 26th when the government took off.
I hear Robinson what you're saying, but
I know you want to know.
No, we celebrate the 26th. That's true, but each time we
So we have only one mandate.
But each
the
time
seizure of Uganda's sovereignty.
no. Each time we have a new term of office, like we do now have the one ending next year.
Yes.
Who knows? I don't know if Romsana knows who will win, but I don't know yet because people are only expressing interest.
You win where
And
there is a contest.
the people are only picking forms of expression of interest.
Right.
But should we have, whichever government would have,
It's a new mandate.
there's a new mandate. If it's a current one, there's a renewed mandate.
Yes. All right.
We have to do a reality check on how we spend and manage the resources that we have.
All right. Okay.
Uganda is endowed
Yes.
with so much natural resources and even the revenue that we collect locally. But there are many, Romisana, what is a thing a charge where you keep food? What is it called? But you know a charge where in the traditional we used to have something called a charge where you keep food.
Granary.
A granary.
Yes.
Unfortunately, our granary, some people have punched
Very big holes.
Into the granary. So food keeps
Going
leaking
out.
through it.
But just tell me, which donor, which investor or corrupt person wants to take an oil well, for instance, or a dam, those deals, would pay only 30 million later which the president.
That
Corruption. From the president's own speach, by the way, on X, there's a video on that, yes.
That now the ones who are accessing him are vendors in fried nuts. Because the serious corrupt ones,
They don't send that 30
who
million.
do big deals, they wouldn't pay 30 million.
Yes.
Uganda shilling, have their documents. Either the price has been reduced, versus the pay.
So grave.
I know you want to get me. If you are going to do a mega deal of a gold mine, and you want your letter to reach the president for you to get such a mega deal, you don't pay 30 million shillings only.
You pay much more.
Yeah, those corrupt people ask in terms of shares, you get. So by the time you now see that the act to access is 30 million,
Yes.
which he picked, it's no longer about, you remember those contracts of standard regate? Because it is when he says they store my documents. Those ones don't take 30 million. Now it means that he is now handling business of procurement of borders, of fried vending nuts, road tour.
Can we, because we have about 5 minutes to the end, I would like to hear, and I think maybe in the next 2 minutes, can I have from Catherine what bold action Uganda needs to take? Thank you, Moses, for that, for us to turn this tide round within the next few months so that we can live without foreign aid. I know you've said it's possible for Uganda to survive and thrive without foreign aid, but what are some of those bold, locally based bold moves?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I will answer that with a question. I want you to imagine if the local communities, our people, stopped giving. You know all those other forms of giving we talked about? The day that giving stops, the tears we are crying today, the other one will be premium tears, World Cup tears, because it means nothing will function. Aid can go. We will struggle, but we will survive. We thrive and are resilient as a people, as a society, as a nation, because communities have never stopped giving. That is my message. So can we recognize that, leverage local giving and utilize it? The other one, he has said, let's stop the wastage, for heaven's sake. The stealing, we need to stop. I don't know how. Ramshana said it is a spiritual issue. Maybe we need to have people praying and interceding for this country, repent, and say, God, forgive us, and let there be change. Yes, but I pray that the local giving shall never stop. It is it's the new era. It is our new way. It's always been our way, but to say, can we recognize, celebrate it, amplify it, but also utilize it in ways that help us to move forward and not west.
Wow. Charles, Moses, you wanted to say one?
When you bought the planes, which take people who are going for
Cheyo.
these jobs, what jobs? When they are coming back, they bring Indians. So ours run away because they don't see opportunities. The other ones are coming in because they are seeing opportunities.
Right.
And part of the aid Germany now, for instance, is giving, and Europe, to West Africa, is to stop migration into Europe. Because ours are running away, because they think there are no opportunities here. But let me say this. There is rural, urban migration, not in search of services, not in search of opportunities, but running out from corruption. Because the most successful person in the village is the one who goes to the trading center, make money and buy land in the village.
In the village.
Setting. Now, those who have failed production at that basic level, who can't even produce for their own stomach, they go to the trading center. And so you have proliferation of trading centers out of corruption. And those who failed in the, because it is cheaper to live in Rukunjiri, the example I can give, than to live in Kampala. So those who failed there now come to Kampala, and you are seeing a lot of slums, etc. But the tragedy is that they sell land to buy borders. Now, those who steal from them, and mainly those who come from Ankole. I've been talking to someone who has 5 square miles of land, but he can't sell. He can't, because he has money to live on, he's not living on production, he's stolen from the state. 5 square miles of land is not developing it. So you go to Ankole, Mbarara, you are not seeing a lot of development, but because people cannot sell their land. And those who have stolen are not again investing in their land. They prefer to invest abroad. So yes. you have collapse, but it's also good
for the collapse.
This collapse is good because at some stage there will be resetting of the country. The country will be reset. It cannot reset with this existing architecture.
It will have to,
it must collapse.
And then
where Mr. Museveni now can no longer travel by a jet. You will reach some stage and you will find he's unable to travel by jet, he's not able to travel by helicopter.
And we shall reset.
And once there is total collapse, then there will be
a reset.
A reset.
Charles, thank you.
Most churches in the villages will turn into clinics.
Charles,
they are not dependent on people who come to worship. They are dependent on thieving politicians.
All right. Let me stop there, Charles. And I would like to thank you. I'd like to thank Moses. I'd like to thank Catherine. I know there's still a lot of arsenal that is coming, but I would like to end here for now. I know that we'll be able to advance this conversation a little further. Philippians chapter 4 verses 19, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus. But I also like to add from Psalms 121, which says, I look up the mountains, where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth and the mountains. You said it was a spiritual one, so let's close with a prayer. Father, we thank you for we are in your hands. We thank you for the people that have listened and watched, even for our leadership. We are relying on you for the next course of action when it comes to being able to cut ourselves off foreign aid. Give us wisdom, continue giving us wisdom and the boldness to act as a government, but also as the citizens. May we bring change within our communities, ourselves, and develop, because you want us to thrive and enjoy our lives here. So, Father, we pray for your wisdom, pray for your guidance. Even our panelists, may you protect them and guide them as they head back. We leave them with a blessing. We pray all this believing and trusting in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Moses.
Pleasure.
And thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Good
Thank you,
evening, and thank you for watching. God bless you.
The truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies,